Oh.
Alright guys, ito na, live na tayo. My goodness, ang dami natin pinag-usapan na kakaiba. Napunta tayo sa sports, nag-warm up ako kanina, sabi ko ready na tayo. Yan na naman, once again, I find myself in the minority opinion. Siguro ano ako medyo nainis ako kasi I'm a UFC fan, right? So I just didn't like how Jake Paul was just picking up this ex-champs na medyo obvious naman na medyo washed up na, di ba? Or even smaller. I think if Jake Paul is like
Yeah.
6 foot tall, yung mga kinalaban niya mga 5'10", so basically my height, or 5'11".
Yeah.
Even 2 inches can make a big difference, lalo kung kalaban mo mas matanda sa'yo. And also, Chris and Mark, you have convinced me, each of you, that in fairness, Jake Paul deserves a lot of respect. Chris, you want to come in before we talk about actually very morbid stuff na related sa Pilipinas? Pag-usapan natin, I was just looking at the forensics kanina about the tragic situation nangyari. Of course, no matter how much bad you have done in this world, I never wish bad for you, especially what happened to the former USEC. Pero bago tayo pumunta dyan, boxing muna tayo ng konti. Ikaw, Chris, you were saying something about the weight difference, the risk. I mean, he was risking his life there, in fairness kay Jake Paul.
Yeah, actually, kaya nga may mga weight classes sa boxing because boxing is such a dangerous sport because of the amount of head impact, okay? Concussions, concussive force yan on the head. And kaya ginawa nila, sobrang silang strict sa weight class. Jake Paul came in there at 215. Anthony Joshua dropped weight to 245. That's a 30-pound weight difference. Ang laki nun. In terms of force and power, kitang-kita mo, nung sinapak ni Jake Paul si Anthony Joshua, hindi man lang gumalaw. Pero nung tinamaan siya ni Anthony Joshua ng parang jab ata nung una, kita mo, alug na alug si Jake Paul, nararamdaman na niya yun eh. And that's why that's risking your life when you're in the boxing ring. A lot of people have died in the boxing ring, by the way. That's how dangerous it is.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, ikaw, Mark, you were saying also something. In fact, in fairness, Jake Paul, because he's going to be paid still handsomely. Medyo napapaya yung ibang sports, like UFC, where
5
they're,
billion pesos
oh,
for
Jesus
that
Christ.
match. Tig 5 billion pesos sila ni AJ. And even more pa kung mas maganda yung performance siguro. Hindi ako, bias ako kasi I grew up watching Jake Paul, Logan Paul, yung magkapatid. 10 years ago, kaya na-inspire ako mag-YouTube and all that because of sa kanila. And so, mas nagigets ko what Jake was doing throughout his short boxing career pa lang. He creates attention, he is always trolling, tapos pinipili niya syempre yung makakalaban niya. Pero the thing is, ang maganda kay Jake, yung mga nakakalaban niyang MMA, dating MMA, he helps them transition into boxing Kaya nasa undercard niya 'Di ba? Yung pareho niyang nakalaban. And kasi yun nga, and napag-uusapan natin nga, isang problema sa UFC, yung fighter pay. So Jake is isa sa mga vocal about sa ganyan, even going after Dana White. Tapos, of course, yung kanyang motion is one of the main boxing promotions ngayon. And sila yung number one pagdating sa promoting women's boxing na hindi masyadong nabibigyan ng attention before. Kaya alam ko naman no one was expecting Jake Paul to win. Pero medyo pangit nga yung pagkatalo niya kasi takbo siya ng takbo, kapit siya ng kapit ng legs. Hindi niya talaga kaya si Anthony Joshua kanina.
Yung kapit ng legs, parang yun ang nangyari sa mga DDS idols pag ma-imagine mo si Bato magkakapit yan pag uhulin yan, or yung naghahamon kay Attorney Falsis biglang nag-back out na yata. Chris.
Hindi naman kakasay yun eh. Inaamin naman niya hindi siya kakasay. Kaya nga 'di ba si Meow Meow yung gustong humarap pero mukhang may agenda kung ba't siya gusto humarap. No, yun no. Ayun no, kapit na kapit oh. Nagmamakaawa na yun. Please, daddy, wag po.
Hindi siya yung sa katawan, bro. Sa legs talaga
Sa legs.
Yung sablay
Pero alam mo props nga ako kay Jake kasi nga pumatol siya kumasa siya sa hamon ng kalaban niya na alam niyang mas malaki sa kanya. And I think also, inisip din niya kasi that I have nothing to lose. The guy is bigger than me. He is expected to win. by me, kung makatagal ako ng 8 rounds, hindi niya ako ma-knockout, panalo ko. Yun, isipin mo na, pag hindi siya na-knockout, he had 2 more rounds to go, panalo siya. So, the only thing he had to do was last 8 rounds with Anthony Joshua. Ang hindi lang niya na-anticipate is when you're going around, running around the entire ring for 6 rounds, talagang ubos ang gasolina mo, ubos ang hangin mo dyan. My God, you have a 245-pound athlete stalking you for 6 rounds. Kahit sino mapapagod dyan.
He risked his life. I mean, that's scary
Yeah.
stuff, right? I mean, we have seen in some sports, like some punches, you're not the same after that. I don't know,
Yeah.
Mark, di ba? Maybe someone should advise him. Mayaman na siya, sikat na siya. Maybe
Everyone,
this is
lahat
not the best
even
thing for
his,
him to do.
yung kapatid niya, yung brother niya, yung pamilya niya, everyone was advising him to not take the fight.
Ah,
So, hindi din
sinabi
maintindihan kung anong
pala.
logic kung ba't niya kinuha. Di ba ang kakalabanan niya dapat si Tank na mas
Maliit,
maliit sa
maliit yan,
kanya.
oo.
Pero
Laki ng
magaling
difference.
na champion na boxer talaga. Tapos nung na-cancel yun, biglang ito yung pinalit. So siguro, sabi niya, fuck it, let's do this, bahala na. At
Oo.
least, ingat, dalawang broken jaw yung ano niya. Hopefully hindi siya ganun nakongkas masyado. Kaya yun. Ako he will fight again definitely.
Yeah.
Nasa bata pa siya, still in his prime eh.
Yeah.
He just wants to see siguro how far he could take
Yeah.
it on the boxing side. Tapos
At saka hindi lang yun, Mark, alam mo yung ginawa niya. So, kasi nakikita, natatalo niya lahat ng mga matatanda, lahat ng mga mas maliit sa kanya, lahat ng mga retired. Tapos, nag-try siya one time to fight somebody his size, yung kapatid ni Tyson Fury, si Tommy Fury. Tapos doon, si Tommy Fury is an amateur boxer yon. I don't think he's a professional, even yung kilos niya hindi pro eh. Doon pa lang, nanalo si Tommy Fury dito. Although
Yun nga yung
Tommy
sinasabi ko
Fury,
eh.
by all accounts, is a terrible boxer. He is terrible. I mean, I watch it, I'm like, this guy is so
Mediocre at
bad,
best,
nothing like his
yeah.
brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mediocre.
so nung pa lang natalo na siya. And then he went back to the formula of fighting retired boxers like Mike Tyson na sobrang retired na, not the same person anymore. Of course, Mike Tyson's not gonna be able to knock out Jake Paul. Ang bagal ni Mike. He doesn't have the same moves. So, for me, ito yung logic hindi logic ni Jake Paul yung ginamit niya dito eh. Jake Paul has this kamikaze attitude. Yung do or die siya eh. Bata to eh, na medyo, ganyan yung ugali niya naman dati pa, yung he will take risks, even if it means his life. And, di ba, pag teenagers, they're missing a part of their development of the frontal cortex ata yun, di ba, na yun yung danger, hindi nila
Baka sa
naintindihan.
kaka-jutes, di ba pag nag-jutes ka daw, naapektuhan naapektuhan yung, frontal cortex mo or something.
para sa akin kasi calculated eh. Yun yung mga matches that brings him to Netflix eh. Yung very big payday. Kumbaga, he is solidifying yung kanyang partnership with with Netflix. Tapos ang next na diyan yung mga Middle East eh, yung mga Riyadh,
Right.
yung money from kasi mahilig sa boxing yung mga Kasi
Dito rin
sinasabi ko
nga, I
din
think he
kanina,
was hoping to do that Ngannou Tyson fight. Remember si Ngannou
Oo,
tumagal at
eh.
nasapak pa niya, knockdown pa nga niya si Tyson Fury eh. So, I think he was hoping something along those lines, no, Chris? Kasi ang
Yeah.
laki ni Tyson Fury kumpara kay Ngannou. I mean, Ngannou is big, but he was way shorter, like 4-inch different size or something like that. So, I don't know. I think he was hoping at least for something like that, yung nagawa ni Francis Ngannou na hindi lang tumagal all the way. He had a knockdown, but this one, wala eh. Talaga makita mo the size difference, matter.
layo talaga.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
sabi ko
And,
rin kanina, nasa Netflix din. Kung hindi nyo pa napapanood, yung Matchroom, The Greatest Showman, yung manager ni AJ, si Eddie Hearn, who is also very controversial. Parang siya sinundan siya ng camera ng Netflix for I think 2023 or 2024. Tapos this year pinalabas. Ganda. It shows a lot of behind the scenes na nangyayari sa boxing world. Pero itong sila Eddie Hearn, kaya natutuwa din ako kasi tatlo yung main na sports nila eh. May boxing, pero ang biggest sport nila, darts. Mas
Wow.
malaki yung kita ng darts
Yeah, yun yung
nila
mag-ama, di ba?
kesa sa
Yun yung
boxing.
mag-ama. Mark, yun yung story ng mag-ama.
Mag-ama.
Competitive pa
Oo,
sila sa
si Eddie
sarili.
Hearn tsaka yung tatay niyang nagsimula ng Matchroom. Tapos the last one is yung mga pool. So natapos lang yung
Oh.
Reyes Cup, yung katatapos lang din na ano, na Reyes Cup dito sa atin tsaka Philippine na sila yung nag-organize nun. So pinakita yung behind the scenes doon sa Netflix. Ang ganda. I think magkaka-season 2 baka kasama itong mga laban ni Jake Paul na ito with Anthony Joshua. Kaya ano, for boxing fans, ang ganda ding panoorin yun. Si
I
Eddie
don't know.
Hearn,
I
one of
just
the top
being I
promoters
don't know.
there.
Maybe Chris, I'm even more queer. I just there's something about boxing I'm always worried about because it's the punches you get not only in the match, it's the pre-match punches. Yung training pa lang pare, you get so much punch in the
Oh yeah, bugbog ka na sa training pa lang.
eh,
As a
bro.
matter of fact,
Kaya that's why I
kadalasan
can
nga,
never
mas
encourage
mahirap.
professional boxing. Sabi ko, MMA
Yeah.
kayo or jiu-jitsu kayo. I mean, you can kill people with jiu-jitsu. I mean, you're gonna be a killer, no problem. If you want to be a fighter, go. Pero boxing pare, it's not in the ring. Yung pre-ring pa lang, ang dami mo ng punches eh.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and dami sobrang punches that it really messes you up. Remember, I used to own a boxing gym. I had a boxing business for over 10 years, and I know these boxers. I so see their lives, and marami sa kanila they don't think straight. Marami sa kanila have a lot of damage up here. And kahit ako nga when I used to spar a lot. Alam mo yung one time pumunta ako sa doktor ko kasi natamaan ako sa mata, pumasok yung glove, yung knuckle sa
Oh,
loob ng eyeball ko.
wow.
So, I had to go to the doctor to have it checked kasi nag-blur yung vision ko, hindi ko ma-focus. So, akala ko na nangyari. And it turned out that that was fine, but they saw something worse. I had retinal tears, multiple tears
Because
in
of
my
yung,
eyes.
yung
Yeah, the impact,
cumulative.
yeah, cumulative impact.
Ouch.
And I was prone to retinal tears because of that. So, ang nangyari, they had to laser it to close all the tears. Kasi pag hindi mo nasara yun, it becomes a detached retina and you go blind.
Oh,
And I was like, damn. Sinabi ng doktor sa akin sabi na, ay doctor, alam mo Chris, tanong ko lang sa'yo, do you make money from sparring? I go, nope. Are you a professional boxer? Nope. Then stop. Why are you doing this? I go, it's fun. It's fun. You're gonna go blind. Alam mo, sabi, if you were Manny Pacquiao, I'd give you a different advice. You're not Manny Pacquiao, so you're not making hundreds of millions of dollars on this, so stop. I'm like, okay, I get it. Okay, I'll stop.
But even a
So,
Manny Pacquiao
kaya,
at some point has to stop. Otherwise, he's not gonna enjoy the fruits of his labor, right? Ano naman ang silbi, milyonaryo ka, and then
I'm
at
sure.
some age in your life, you cannot even speak to your kids. You get what I'm saying? Yun ang, kaya nga, Mark, I hope Jake Paul will, alam ko bata pa siya. I want him to be the businessman. I think he's a great promoter. I think si Dana White na nga, nag-retire kaagad, naging promoter. Like, he could be the other Dana White na bata pa, mas magaling pa. At in fairness, and compared to Dana White, I think he has more actual fights. So I don't know. I just think he's a great promoter. He's a super talented guy. Focus on that. I'm
Yeah.
worried for his health. I really don't like.
Itong AJ fight might is one
I'm
of the
worried, bro.
one of
Worried na
his
yun.
more stupid decisions na pinig niya. Pero anyway, yun talaga. Like, gusto ko congrats si Yumir Marshall. I think he is the
Ay,
only
oo.
gold medalist sa
Congratulations
SEA
again
Games na
for
Pinoy.
another.
So sana mas dumami yung mga ulit. Kumbaga hindi na tayo ganoon ka-dominant sa boxing kahit sa Southeast Asia, 'di ba? Si Yumir na lang yung nag-gold
Bronze
nitong
na nga
huling
yung
games.
isa, yeah.
Oo, so
Yeah.
hopefully masuportahan yung mga natin, yung mga
Pero
young athletes natin kasi that's our one of the sports din na where we could win sa Olympics.
yeah, pero alam mo, Mark, talaga sa akin ang problema kasi natin sa sports, ha? This is related to corruption. Kasi nga, hindi na pupondohan ng ating mga athletes not getting the proper training equipments, training support, nutrition, ang dami. And others countries support their athletes. Tayo lang ang bansa na ang ating Philippine Sports Commission does not give enough support to the athletes because they're not budgeted properly. And kaya tayo palagi tayong nagmumukhang tanga dito sa mga sports na to dahil itong mga athletes natin, kudos to all of them because they're fighting
In
on
spite
behalf
of.
of the Philippines in spite of the deficiencies of our government to give them support, they're winning. That says a lot. Now, imagine what they can do with government support funding. Kaya ako naiinis sa gobyerno. Tapos pag may mananalong Pilipino, dyan yung gobyerno, dyan ang presidente, shaking hands, ang galing-galing mo. Gago ka pala eh. They did it without your support. Zero support from the government or minimal. And then you try to take some credit na parang, oh, galing ng Pilipinas. Hindi, magaling siya. Sinasakyan na lang ng ating gobyerno ang kagalingan ng mga athletes na to. Kaya doon ako naiinis eh. Kita mo talaga, it's BS talaga. Walang support. And for the kids, honestly, if there was support from the government, alam mo, a lot of our kids would become athletes. They would have better lives. They will improve all aspects of their life dramatically by just getting into sports. They're gonna learn discipline, teamwork, focus. Maraming matututunan ng ating kabataan. Instead, ano nangyayari? Dahil walang sports, dahil hindi na napupondohan ang mga sports programs natin, karamihan nating mga kabataan ay napupunta saan? Sa droga, sa pagbabarkada, sa yung mga gangs na yan. Tapos they get into trouble. That's because we lack a national sports program. And all sports, boxing, we should be capitalizing on that because our Filipinos are good at boxing. There's no height requirement. Dapat talaga other sports, mga gymnasts, mga ang dami weightlifting, ang dami tayong pwede.
Mark, football, my boy.
Yung
My
ano?
sport. Naka-champion tayo sa football. Pero anong nangyari? Sa basketball team C ba natin, dinadayaan pa rin ng Thailand? Ano ba nang...
Oh, they really wanted to win gold. Sa Southeast Asia kasi, lahat ng mga malalaking bansa na talagang ang target nila sa basketball, una is to unseat yung Philippines. Matalo yun talaga, kaya kahit sinong kahit anong SEA Games yan. And of course, pinadala natin yung yung SEA team. Kasi nga, ang daming mga importanteng dates na aapektuhan yung mga pro leagues kapag kinukuha yung main Gilas team. So for Southeast Asia, itong mga pero they still managed to push through. Gusto ko lang din idagdag doon sa doon sa sinabi ni Chris. I think ang naging strategy naman ng mga
naghangata si
huling
Mark.
taon. Ay, sorry, ano yan? No, yung strategy ng mga huling taon was to focus yung budget doon sa mga talagang may chance ng winning talaga. Si Heidelin, tapos yung si Kaloy, Yulo. So, ang nangyari, doon napunta halos lahat ng budget. Kaya kahit pa paano, basta nakalaban sila ng mas maganda hanggang manalo sila ng gold nila. Pero tama yung sinabi mo, talagang kulang na kulang yung budget. Ang isang pinopropose ko, hindi ko alam kung gaano ka-feasible din, is per city, adapt a sport. Kunyari kung, for example, yung mayayaman na syudad, kunyari Makati, o sa iyo yung swimming, o sa Mandaluyong, sa iyo yung track and field, o sa Pasig, sa iyo yung ganitong sport. So pwedeng buhusan ng local government yung sport nila.
Correct. Sa Baguio, mountain climbing, di ba meron yung parang Olympic sport, yung
Oo.
bilisan ng mountain climbing, nanalong
Oo,
Indonesia. yun.
para at least pride na din kunyari sa Baguio, di ba, yung MMA, some of the best fighters
Team
come
Lakay.
from Team Lakay. So kung may matututok na ganun, at least sa facility, sa konting tulong na lang from national government para makafocus dun sa per sport, on a per sport na basis.
Speaking of Baguio, and well, since brutal na rin ang usapan natin, so eto na, we're making the transitions. I was wondering initially, bakit kailangan pa ng DNA test and forensics dun sa trahedya na nangyari sa amin sa Baguio the other day, na someone very well informed, including on so many projects during Duterte administration, di ba? Hindi lang itong kasalukuyan na administration, itong tao na itong really work her way all the way up, talagang civil servant through and through, so alam niya lahat talagang pasikot-sikot. Sabi ni Secretary Remulla, wasak ang yung kanang bahagi ng mukha niya. At I saw some of the other updates na talagang ba't yung mga paa wasak. So I was wondering like how badly injured the person was na hindi nila ma-identify right away. I mean, Chris, it looks crazy lalo with the selfie na parang chill. Bro, I cannot wrap my head around it. By the way, I'm now in Taipei. Kahapon lang may may mass killing event din dito. I mean, like, what the heck is going on?
Oh yeah.
What's up, bro? Like, anong basa niyo dalawa, Mark and Chris?
Basa saan? Which one are you referring to now?
I mean, no, I mean,
Sa mga conspiracy theories.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Oh,
does this
ako,
look
I
like
would start
suicide?
it.
Ikaw, Mark, what do you think?
Kasi maraming mga lalo na simula, maraming katanungan eh. Napaka-high profile na tao. So siguro malaro yung isip ng mga Pinoy. Ang daming mga naiisip na una is sinabi din ni Senator Kiko kasi it happened before yung pinepeke yung pagkamatay, di ba? So that is always a possibility na kaya kung durug-durug nga yung muka, iniisip siguro ng iba baka gumamit ng ibang katawan tapos e-escape na siya. She could go away with her cash. Pero yun nga, sabi nga daw sa DNA, siya daw talaga. So at least na-cross out na yung iniisip na yon. So of course, yung sa driver, nung nagsalita yung driver, yung sa storya niya, it needs to be checked out. And of course, naging person of interest yung driver. Tapos na-relieve yung mga officers doon sa area na yon kasi merong mga mali sa procedure. I think yung cellphone din, hindi na nabigay sa authorities, napunta daw sa pamilya, may mga ganung report. Tapos dumagdag pa yung asawa. Nung nagpa-interview, ayaw ipa-autopsy yung katawan. Tapos, kasi yung pag nagsasalta yung asawa, siguro baka ganun na siya talaga, you would expect na someone na umiiyak or heartbroken kasi biglaang namatay yung asawa. Pero parang galit lang siya. So, doon medyo nagtataka yung mga tao. Pero yun nga, at least itong report na autopsy, kumaga na-ekis yung mga conspiracy theories tungkol doon sa nangyayari sa kanya. And of course, a lot of people, kumaga maraming motive eh. A lot of people would, kumaga, hihina yung possible case nila kung mawala itong si Cabral. Kasi Cabral really connected everything. Nandun siya sa planning, so nakikita niya. Pinag-uusapan yung sa listahan daw, di ba? Meron daw siyang listahan ng lahat ng mga proponents na hindi ko naman
Sa
maintindihan bakit
cellphone or
hindi
sa
yan.
computer niya sa office, no? Parang pareho, no?
Oo, ganun. Merong iba nagsasabi sa cellphone, may nagsasabi sa computer sa office na hindi ko intindihan bakit hindi nilang ilabas. 'Di ba? Hindi naman nila pera 'yan, pera ng taong bayan 'yan. So dapat siguro nilalabas yung mga ganyang klaseng listahan. Pero meron akong kwento pa niyan later na tungkol diyan sa listahan na 'yan nitong si Catalina Cabral. And I would like to say lang before kay Chris, nung mga huling siguro sa mga podcast natin, 'di ba? Pansin nyo, 'yan ang parati kong ba't walang ano kay Cabral, ba't walang ano kay Bonoan? Parang ang gaan nila eh. If they attend hearings, hindi sila sinasabon, hindi sila inaano.
Ganun bang read mo? Oo nga.
Oo, ganun talaga. Ang
Yeah.
lambot nila pagdating kay Cabral, pagdating
Hmm.
kay Bonoan. Doon sa dalawang yon na I think alam na alam lahat ng nangyayari. Kaya ang nakakaano lang, ngayong patay na, ngayon sila maghahabol ng information o ng lahat na makukuha nila. Nung buhay pa, 'di ba? Hindi nga wala pang ang kaso, wala pang ang pero isa siya sa mga tinuturo and yung posisyon niya, yun talaga yung nakakita ng lahat ng mga projects. Kaya sa akin, siguro ang lesson dito, si Cabral patay na, si Bonoan buhay pa. Dapat pinagtututukan din ng pansin sa investigasyon si Bonoan or yung nakaraang secretary si Mark Villar. Baka dapat yun ang tinututukan din at wag nang hintayin pa na parang ganyan, may
God
nangyaring
forbid
ganyan.
may mangyari. Oo. Ikaw, Chris, what's your read? It looks like you're really thinking deeply about this. Ako, I'm still confused, bro. I still wrapping my head around it.
Right. Okay. So initially ito with regards to the autopsy or yung ginawang autopsy kasi sinabi na nga ang update nga is sinabi na nga ni DILG Secretary John Vic Remulla na confirmed na siya ngayon at blunt force trauma daw yung cause of death. Pero at the same time, interesting na parang how they conducted it. I actually would like to invite Doktora Raquel Fortun to do the autopsy and the forensic investigation. Kasi, alam mo, sigurado ba sila na ang cause of death ay blunt force trauma. Number one. Number two, kailangan din nilang tignan yung toxicology. Yung ano yung nasa stomach niya, anong nangyari, may nainom ba siya? Mali mo
Nabago siya tumalon or something. Yeah, that's
oh,
it.
baka she was drugged or maybe she was,
Oh,
diba,
yeah.
there's a lot eh. Tapos saka na lang tinulak of, because she was already dead. Baka she could have been dead before she fell. Diba? So, maraming pwede pang tignang angulo. Kaya dapat siguraduhin nila na hindi lang yung, ito na yun, tapos na. Yun lang. Number two, yun ang issue. Tapos, hindi lang yun. Pag tinignan mo, ito yung ilang beses ko na ito sinabi sa mga videos ko. Dalawa na yung ginawa kong video about this. Alam nyo na, on the 18th, okay? On the 18th, 2 hours before she was reported dead, Politico came up with a blind item saying na merong isang government official suicidal. Okay? Did you guys know about that? Yung suicidal na government official nilabas ng Politico na blind item. Tapos pag binasa mo yung blind item na to, it was Cabral that they were referring to. And what was odd was, 2 hours after they posted this blind item, lumabas yung next story, which was Cabral is dead. And then they followed up with another story that Cabral is suicidal according to her kids. Sinabi niya na may insider daw sila na nagsabi daw na yung kids daw niya sinabi na sa insider nila na yung nanay nila na si Cabral ay tumalon from the stairs, threw herself down the stairs, at yung bumagsak, she survived. This was December 14 daw. The day
So may
before she was
attempt na.
invited to go
May
to the
suicide
ICI.
attempt na.
Oo. Yun ang sinasabi ng insider na sinabi daw nung anak nila ng dalawang daughters siya o yung daughter niya, sinabi daw sa insider na nangyari daw to. But that's why they need to do an interview of everybody, family members and everyone, kasi may mga inconsistencies or suspicious circumstances. Kasi isipin mo bakit may maglalabas ng article 2 hours before she died? Okay, na meron daw yun ang suicidal na tao. Then, 2 hours later, they post na ito yung suicidal na tao natin, si Cabral na to. And then, they follow up with another story confirming that she's suicidal daw. But then you heard the interview with the dad, yung tatay niya, yung asawa niya. Napansin mo walang binanggit yung tatay na suicidal si Cabral? Wala siyang sinabing ganon. Wala nga siya sinabi na, oo nga nakausap ko yung mga anak ko, binanggit nga lang sa akin na sinubukan ng nanay nila magpakamatay na pala dati. Wala. Sinabi nga niya about yung December 15 na ICI hearing. Nagtaka lang siya, ba't di ka pupunta sa ICI hearing lang? Pero walang napag-usapan na ganun. Kung yung nanay, kung yung asawa mo, tapos yung mga anak mo, alam ng mga anak mo na suicidal yung nanay, don't you think sasabihin sa tatay? Don't you think ibabanggit niya sa mga kasambahay? Don't you think babanggitin niya sa driver? At sasabihin sa driver, uy,
daming angles, yeah.
yeah, kaya doon yun ang magtataka. And alam naman natin, tulad nga sinasabi ko is, alam naman natin na maraming envelopmental journalism na nangyayari. Alam naman natin yun eh. And para sa akin, it seems too fishy. I'm not saying it's a fact na nabayaran yung article nila, na posibleng may nag-fund na itong article para lang to set the premise na suicidal si Cabral para pag nangyari na yung pagpatay sa kanya, pwede nang i-close case, suicidal. And they planned it so well to make it look like a suicide. Yun ang nakikita mong posibleng angulo. Kaya kailangan interviewin kung sino yung nagsulat ng article na to, sino yung insider nila na nagsasabi na sinabi daw to ng mga anak. Kailangan kausapin yung mga anak to confirm kung sinabi ba nila to at kung totoong nangyari to. At kung ano pa yung alam ng mga anak tungkol dito. So there's a lot of suspicious circumstances surrounding this.
Yun nga, at saka yung mga timing of events. Thanks to you, Chris, no, na napapunta ako kay Ma'am Raquel Fortune's Twitter ngayon na mukhang the latest update is ibablock niya na si Rowena Guanzon. Sabi ni Rowena Guanzon,
Yeah.
John Vic Remulla, wala kang awa. Hindi ka pwede mag-president dahil yung mga ganun. Like, ginawa niyang political kaagad. So sabi
Yep.
ha? Block na nga kita.
Yeah, kasi nga alam mo,
Rowena Guanzon.
sobra,
Follow back sa
yeah,
akin.
because
Paano si Guanzon kay Raquel Fortune?
Ay nako, not only that, come on, there has to be a criminal investigation considering the personality involved. Ganun lang kasimple yun eh. This is not an ordinary person. This is a person deeply entrenched and involved in the corruption issue, the biggest corruption issue in the entire Philippine history. So kailangan talagang imbestigahan to. Yun yun eh.
May I add, no, kay Raquel Fortune, again, thanks to you, bro. Kasi pupunta tayo sa who could be the biggest beneficiaries, right? Kasi that always can give you some idea. It doesn't prove anything, but at least it gives you some idea about saan tayo titingin. Sabi ni Raquel Fortun, identity is not the only issue and DNA test is not the only way to identify. Sabi niya, there are easier, faster, cheaper ways, especially if it's a recent death. The remains aren't so bad. The suspected dissident has records. So as we speak, yung ating leading forensics expert sa bansa is openly following itong developments na yan. Sabi niya, first time for me to see that, had to Google yung term na dead body in foil na ginamit yata ng some people.
Yun.
Yun, why not just a body bag to prevent yung contamination? Pero di raw nag-gloves yung mga nag-recover. Saan kaya galing?
Yep.
Funeraria?
There were-
So, you could see, medyo tumaas ang kilay ni leading forensics expert ng bansa natin.
Yeah, add to that, Richard, that when they brought the body up, sinigurado nila nakatakip talaga lahat eh. Before they brought it up to the roadside. Alam mo, there are so many suspicious circumstances talaga that makes you believe na either A, na fake nga tong death niya, pero nga kinonfirm na nga na siya yun. Okay, fine. Let's take it as it is. Let's say it's not a fake death. Then the next question is it really an accident, a suicide, or is it possible that it's a murder made to look like an accident or a suicide? That driver, pakinggan mo yung interview with that driver.
I mean, what the heck is going on, bro? This is creepy.
Interview. Pakinggan mo yung demeanor niya, pakinggan mo yung mga sagot niya. Sasabihin niya, binaba ko po si ma'am. Tapos, iniwan ko lang. Wala, hindi niya, alam mo kung sinabi ni Cabral sa kanya, balikan mo ako after 1 hour. Sasabihin niya ng driver, hindi yan sinabi. Sabi niya, dinrap off ko po iniwan ko kasi gusto daw niya magmuni-muni or whatever. Tapos binalik, paano mo alam kung oras mo babalikan? 2 oras, paano mo alam na 2 oras babalikan? Tapos alam niya na iniwan ni Cabral yung telepono niya, yung mobile phone niya sa kotse, pati yung bag. Tapos hindi mo sabihin sa amo mo, ma'am, ba't mo iwan yung, paano kita makukontak kung kailangan kita makukontak, iniwan mo yung phone mo. 'Di ba? So the driver is definitely a person of interest and could even be a suspect. They have to do a check on all communications from SMS messages to calls, call logs, to all messaging apps to find out sino mga kausap ng driver na to from the day she died and go backwards to 1 month to 2 months down the road. Kailangan tingnan yun.
Parang
And
weekly
including
yung
the
driver,
Cabral.
no? I mean,
Pati
there's
yung
some
hotel, no? Pati yung hotel nakita nyo na yung latest news din.
yung surveillance camera tinatakpan.
Tinatakpan.
Really?
Pero bukod doon, ayaw na ibigay kaya dapat iwawarant ng pulis pa. Pero bukod doon, may lumalabas na mga, I'm not sure kung gaano ka-verified, pero I think the report na she used to own the hotel.
Oh,
Tapos
really?
tapos binenta daw niya kay Congressman Eric Yap. So nabasa ko na yun sa ilang mga posts eh. So merong ganong angulo din.
Wow,
Kaya doong hotel, she used to own that. Pero paano niya na-afford yung ganong kamahal na? Ang laki yung hotel eh. So
Yeah,
paano niya
Ion Hotel.
Oo. Yung Ion Hotel. So paano niya yun may dagdag layer pa doon sa mga pangyayari na
Grabe.
And idagdag mo din dito, Mark, na I'm surprised ayaw nila ilabas yung CCTV, So, yan, tama, that's suspicious already. And idagdag mo to, kailangan malaman how long has the driver been working for Cabral? Okay? How long has it been? Number 1. Number 2, kailangan din natin tignan, does Cabral always drive around with just the driver? Walang bodyguard, walang security, considering who she is and considering how much money she stole. Considering that she is a multi-billionaire worth anywhere from 10 to 99 billion pesos. Wala siyang bodyguard, wala siyang security talaga. Alam niyo, pag nakikita ko
Kasi
yung
yung
mga...
car niya, no offense, I mean,
Ayun pa.
it's
Yun
not
pa pala.
it's not a luxury car, to be honest. Napansin ko
Yeah,
agad eh.
by the way, Richard, ito pala, may kumakalat, and I haven't verified this, that's not even registered to her name. So it's possible that's not even her car. Then the question is, who lent her the car kung hindi yun ang car niya? So kailangan matingnan yung
Baka
angulong
hindi pa
yun.
niya driver yun. I mean, who?
Exactly. Kaya kailangan malaman how long this guy's been working for her. O if he's been working for her long. If not, kanino galing tong driver na to. So, ang daming mga iba't ibang anggulo na kailangan tignan dito na hindi lang pwedeng sabihin na, tumalon siya, okay na, case closed. No, definitely not closed. Remember, there were other DPWH executives that were killed or accidentally died in this year alone since the flood control issue popped up. So, this is very suspicious talaga, and because of who she is and what she knows, kailangan talagang mas malalim na investigasyon. And my God, I am so willing to even help na nga dahil ganun ako ka-invested in this
Yeah,
one.
I saw you
By the way,
post mo, pare, about people na baka nag-witness dumaan dyan sa may Cannon Road.
yeah. Have you seen, may mga nagpo-post ng dash cams? May dashcam na lumabas at 10 a.m., 10:15 a.m. na nakita si Cabral nga sitting by the roadside with the Kia and with hazards
Takot yun.
right there in front. Oo, alam mo, mabilis piece together yan. Pag lahat ng tao na dumaan doon at that's a very busy road, di ba? Ay mag-submit na kanilang dashcam nung araw na yun. Lahat yan, mami-piece together mo yan. You could edit it together and makikita mo talaga kung anong nangyari between 10 a.m. all the way to 7 p.m. Richard, ito pa. Sorry, dadagdag ko na lang. Ito ba yung interesting, Isipin mo to, at 7 p.m., pinunta agad nung driver yung police. Alam mo, pag tinignan mo ang habit ng tao at ang kanyang, ang reaction, pag kung ano may nawawala, would you immediately first not call family, not call anyone, and then immediately call the police after 2 hours? That sounds a little bit, it doesn't make sense. Kasi, kung gano'n, dapat tinawagan niyo yung mga anak. Ma'am, hindi ko mahanap yung, si Mrs. Cabral, yung nasan po si boss, gano'n. Nagtataka lang ako, baka tinawagan kayo, or whatever, di ba? Walang gano'n. Immediately police. And then, ito pa, the police, from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., nahanap agad yung katawan. Ang bilis na hanap. Wow, madilim yung area na yun, ha? Wala masyadong lights doon, walang CCTV, at nahanap agad yung katawan. So, a lot of things don't make sense with this one. And that driver should really be cross-examined properly para makita natin kung ano ba yung hindi niya sinasabi. Marami yun.
Buti, Chris, nag-stop ka mag-boxing, no? You need to be really, I mean, no offense, no? I mean, come on, at the very least, you need good eyes, no? To go through all this. Mark, you were about to say something, please.
Hindi ako nga, pati sa CCTV, sa Baguio City, di ba maganda yung maybe ma-piece together din yung timeline kung toong nagsasabi, di ba? Nakita mo yun, yung kay Mayor Magalong, yung command center nila sa Baguio, ang ganda ng mga cameras, maybe they could check din lahat ng mga oras na sinasabi nung from the hotel going doon sa sa Cannon.
I mean, head of investigation, si IDG ex-head si Magalong. I mean, that's the city of expertise when it comes to the very mayor himself.
Pero I'll add to that, that ito pa yung mga suspicious circumstances dito, Yung dinala nga doon sa area ng Cannon Road by Camp 4, Camp 5, that is the very area na walang CCTV. And I'm telling you, they knew that. They knew that going in there. Kasi, nung umalis na sila, dahil sita ng police the first time, bumalik at the same spot. Why go back to that spot? What was so special about that spot? I mean, kung nagmumuni-muni lang si Cabral, is that really the place where you stop and enjoy the view? Not much of a view there. Then add to that's actually very close to the racketing issue that was lumalabas with the DPWH. So, there's so many suspicious things there. They need to also interview yung police na nagsabi sa kanila, hindi kayo pwede pumara dyan. And remember, I think yung Kia na yan, if it's the latest model, meron yang dashcam din. Kailangan ma-check yung dashcam na yon. Ma-check yung dashcam at the front and at the back. Not just the dashcam, kung tama ang pagkaintindi ko sa mga ganyang technology, yung mga ganyan sa Kia, meron yang location, GPS, ano din, tracker that tells you the speed, the location, and everything where it's gone. Kailangan ma-check lahat yon. Ikaw, Mark, tingin mo, meron pa bang ano, ikaw tingin mo ba pinatay si Cabral o tingin mo totoong aksidente to at nagpakamatay siya o nagpakamatay siya?
Ah, ako mas matimbang sa akin kahapon yung ano pineke niya yung sarili niyang sarili niyang kamatayan na gano'n.
Yeah.
Kahapon, pero after nung DNA na mga test, so ngayon nandun na ako sa in between. She took her own life and merong gumawa nito sa kanya. So nandoon na ako. And yung kung sa motive lang, ang daming may motive eh.
Yes.
Di ba? Sa ilang politiko yan, yung ang mister kahit ano lumabas. Kasi, syempre, yung pag-iiwanan niya ng kung ano mang kayamanan yung nakuha niya. So maraming anggulo talaga yung case na to. Pero din ako idadagdag, Richard ito, nakikita ko lang din sa social media, lumalabas-labas sa mga sa mga feed ko. Tungkol doon sa listahan nitong si Cabral, yung kanyang, di ba parang may sarili tayong Epstein list, di ba? Itong Cabral list. Pansin mo, madalas sa lumalabas sa media ngayon, nag-explain si Congressman Leandro Leviste. Pero meron ako nakitang ito may sarili din naman akong Tweety Bird, tsaka may nakikita din sa Facebook. Kasi ang kiniklaim niya, Cabral gave her a copy nung list na yon nung mga proponents and all, 'di ba? Which ang tanong ba't hindi mo na lang ilabas? 'Di ba? Hindi meron bang mai-incriminate sa pamilya mo o kung kanino ba tayo mo ilabas ng buo? Or pero ang lumalabas ngayon, parang merong daw sa DPWH na he forcefully took it from Cabral. So, merong mga pictures na lumalabas, pumunta siya doon sa desk ni Cabral, tapos nagagawan sila nung, I think, USB man or laptop yon. Tapos umabot sa point na na nasugatan yung daliri ni Cabral. Kaya merong hearing na makikita mo, lumabas si Cabral, meron siyang bandage sa daliri. So, kumaga, idagdag mo pa yun. Anong connection ni Congressman Leandro Leviste doon sa buong nangyayari dito?
Yeah.
At ako, I want to confirm with Congressman Leandro kung totoo yung mga nakikita kong mga posts about dito, di ba? Na hindi willingly binigay sa kanya. Ba't naman willingly ibibigay sa kanya? Yung di ba? Na nangyari daw is nagka-commotion pa gano'n na forcefully kinuha yung I don't know kung USB o laptop yon na laman nung sa listahan.
Yeah.
At ano yung laman nung listahan? Bakit hindi nila malabas? Syempre, ang mahirap niyan, pag may ilalabas, di ba? Hindi din, kumaga, paano kung inedit na nila yan? Paano kung patay na yung gumawa o hindi mako-corroborate dun sa gumawa? So, yun ang isa sa mga dumadagdag dito sa mystery dito.
Pero
Dagdag mo din Yeah, dagdag mo dito Mark, na yung interview nga doon sa asawa. What was interesting was, sinabi niya, walang foul play to. Aksidente to. Okay, ganun like he was so convinced.
Bilis,
For me di ba? Sa akin, kung alam ko yung asawa ko ay may issue with flood control, maraming madadamay sa kanyang testimonya. Mag-iisip ako na, baka may ako yung, hindi, bisigahan nyo to. Alamin natin, baka may pumatay sa asawa ko. He wants this case shut. Tapos na. Ito na ang conclusion, tapos na tayo. Why are you not concerned, nor do you even care to know na may
Or kung
possibility na may
suicidal,
pumatay?
bakit hindi mo sinasamahan yung... Di ba? I mean, kung totoo yung report na suicidal tong tao na to,
Right.
you won't, di ba? You won't let that person travel around alone, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
So, and
that's
plus,
a lot of
kung
red flag.
sa akin din, Richard, ganito lang kasimple yan. Kung magpapakamatay talaga si Cathy Cabral, bakit kailangan pa pumunta ang Baguio? Bakit kailangan pumunta ang Quezon Road? You can easily just go up a building here in QC where she lives. Jump out and die. Bakit Baguio? Bakit sa may lugar kung saan yung rock netting issue? Walang CCTV. Ang dami. Yan pa yung distrito ng dating, ko lang kung congressman pa ba ito ngayon, si Eric Yap o yung dating congressman si Eric Yap. Diyan ang kanyang distrito, yung kung saan namatay si Cabral. Then add to that Cabral has multi-million dollar life insurance policies with the beneficiaries that are the family,
Oh.
including yung mga bahay, mga estates niya, like yung biniling apparently na bahay sa, I think, Forbes Park, ng mga billion-billion. Yan, yung mga beneficiaries yan. So, it begs that question. So, was that the husband thinking, wag nating ilabas sa suicide kasi kung suicide baka
Oh, yung sa
baka
insurance,
ma-avoid.
no?
Oh,
Oo nga.
ma-avoid ng insurance,
Hindi ko naisip
life
yung aspect
insurance.
na yun, no?
Baka
Okay.
na-threaten, hindi kaya na-threaten yung family. I mean, there could be also an angle.
It could be na threaten, or there's so many angles. Or could maybe the family even know something, or were complicit in something? That's why the
Basta para sa akin,
driver did it.
imposibleng hindi makita nung, lalo na engineer din yung asawa. Imposibleng hindi niya, wala siyang alam sa kung ano man yung ginagawa nitong si ano eh. Kaya parang doon nga ako na yung sinabi niya, 42 years nagsilbi yung aking misis, tapos ganyan lang yung gagawin. Di ba? Parang sinasabi na 42 years na napaka... ito pa yung sinasabi ko eh.
Nag,
What's the point na magpa-interview siya eh? Parang it doesn't make
ah,
sense, di ba? Kung maglabas na lang yung statement, sorry, yung pamilya doesn't want to, maybe he was, gusto niya makakuha ng
medyo
simpatya. Wala.
inambush siya eh.
Oh, pwede, he could say no eh. Sorry po maglalabas na lang kami ng statement. Di ba? Nagsalita to, kumbaga less talk, less mistake eh. Kung gusto ba niya kumuha ng simpatya
Or
sa tao, wala
grieving yung
sila
family,
makukuha
di
din eh.
ba? It's time for silence, grieving family, di ba? Usually,
Oo,
yun yung
oo.
SOP, di ba? Ayaw
Oo,
magsalita ng family,
oo.
grieving moment,
Mm.
ganun.
Kaya I don't know kung talagang sinadya niyang or mali on his part, 'di ba? Pwede naman sila maglabas lang ng statement. Tapos, ayaw namin
Yeah.
magpa-interview. Give us our privacy. Ito yung statement namin. Pero hindi eh. Kailangan niyang i-ano niya. Hindi, tingin namin, tingin ko na aksidente. Ganun, which yun nga, baka possibly nga for insurance. Pwede nga ganun yung ano. Pero the thing is yung
Grabe.
mga mansion, kung yung sa bilyonaryo, kung siya talaga yon, ang nakalagay sa bilyonaryo, nakapangalan sa mga contractor trustees. Baka kinamkam na nung contractor yon. Sa amin na tong bahay na to. Sino maghahabol?
Mm.
'Di ba? Kung nakapangalan, kung naibalik sa inyo yung pangalan, di mahahabol din ng gobyerno yan. Mawawala din. O, ang tanong diyan yung pera. Yung
Just to be clear,
siguro,
kasi
mali-mali
marami
na din yan.
nagko-comment ngayon. We're just looking at all possible angles here. Wala tayong sinasabi, wala tayong ebidensya. Si Fortune na nga, yung leading forensics, ano lang siya, nag-sarcastic comments lang siya. Ibig sabihin, we're not at the stage where we can make any definitive statement.
Yep.
Pero ang basa ko, Chris and Mark, um, we are all skeptical, no?
Oh
It's
yeah.
like we're all very skeptical. Like this
Oh.
is, it's not connecting. Hindi nagko-connect eh. Ang dami mga butas tong emerging narrative.
Yes, and that's the thing. Alam mo sa akin, it's good that we're all skeptical. We need to not just accept whatever narrative anyone gives at this point. Kaya nga tayo nabudol ng 2016 eh. Dahil nung time na hindi natin alam paano mag-differentiate between fake news, propaganda, disinformation, misinformation. Tanggap lang tayo ng tanggap na nakikita natin as facts, without knowing any better. But now we know better. Now we have programs like this. Now we have people like all the vloggers that talk now, give their insights. Para na sa ganun, hindi tayo basta-bastang naniniwala at nabubudol sa mga ganyang klaseng tao sa ating gobyerno. Yun ang yan ang pinagkaiba ngayon
Pero
kumpara
nakikita mo
sa
na
dati.
pressure din sila, no, Chris? Nakikita
Oh
mo,
yeah,
kasi alam nila, nag-iisip ang tao eh. Hindi tayo tanga eh. Talaga magtatanong tayo dito eh.
At saka nakikita
Bakit?
mo talaga, Richard, yung talagang teatro talaga ang politika ngayon eh. Nakikita naman natin yun eh. At yung mga palabas sa mga press con, mga press releases, mga blind items sa yan, and the timing of these releases, these are all done to be able na makuha nila ang loob at suporta ng taong bayan dahil alam ng mga politiko na nasa atin ang kapangyarihan at kailangan nila makuha ang suporta natin. Sorry, Mark, go ahead. You were gonna say.
Hindi, yun, tama naman yung sinabi mo. Kanya-kanyang salbahan yung mga yung mga politiko ngayon their own narrative, yung kabilang narrative, mas may kasalanan si ganun. Sayang talaga, nahihinayang talaga ako. Parang may sinasabi si Senator Ping din, di ba? That Cabral was willing to talk na. Pero ang problema ata, hindi siya planong gawing state witness eh. 'Di ba? Sinasabi din nung kasama natin si Attorney Jess na na itong si Cabral lalo nang lumabas yung pangalan same day eh. Yung
Mark,
pangalan
hindi
na
hindi
nilabas
attorney si
ni
Jess, director na po siya ngayon kasi parati siya nasa
okay.
film festival.
Hindi, yung same
Walang
day
niya.
na lumabas
Hindi
yung listahan
pupunta
ni
sa
Vince
atin dahil
Dizon.
sa film festival.
Yung listahan ni Vince Dizon na i-recommend na imbestigahan ng ombudsman, di ba? Nandun na siya. Siguro nakikita niya na si Bonoan nasa abroad, si Bernardo, si Alcantara baka gawing state witness. O siya yung malalaglag eh. Siya yung mga sa kanya yung ibubuhos lahat ng nung blame on the DPWH side. Kasi dapat meron imposibleng wala eh. So siya na yun eh. Kasi after niya si Bonoan o nasa States, after niya si Villar. Siyempre, di naman papayag yung mga Villar na isa, wag nyo kaming, di ba? Catalina, wag mo akong idamay dyan. Siyempre, may ganung pressure
Just to be
din.
clear,
So,
Mark, since you mentioned that, sorry to cut you there, no? So, ito yung testimony ni Bernardo, no? Former Public Works Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo, dun sa isang affidavit niya, dun sa isang Senate testimony, described Cabral as a key gatekeeper in the budgeting process. He detailed that Cabral as Undersecretary for Planning, oversaw the programming and allocation of infrastructure funds, including, of course, pinakamahalaga, flood control projects. Ayon sa kanya, the funding of all projects was cleared through Yuse Cabral for approval by then Secretary Villar. From time to time, si Cabral daw would ask me, referring to Bernardo, to submit a detailed list of projects regarding ito, lump sum fund allocations of the BWH, which she sometimes approved herself or forwarded to then Secretary Villar for approval. So I'm just giving some context about gaano kamahalaga yung trabaho ni Cabral. That's why we're saying she was a key to the entire puzzle.
Yes, dagdag mo dito Richard that si Cabral nga ang nag-imbento ng allocable. Okay? Siya yung talaga nun, yung creator ng allocable. Tapos remember that in 2025 nung nakapasok na lahat ng mga bagong mga kongresista at mga senador, it was her and her staff that was contacting the people, all the politicos, all the newly elected mga congressmen and senators, and she was the one who contacted Tito Soto's office to say, ano mga gusto nyo i-insert. It was so standard procedure for her. Yung parang alam na niya kung ano yung gagawin at ang lakas ng loob niya tawagan ng mga senador. Magkano gusto nyo ilagay natin dito? Tumanggi si Tito Soto. Hindi niya kinuha yung insertion offer ni Cabral in the NEP. Pero ang sinabi nga ni Lacson ay hindi niya alam kung may mga ilan dyan ay actually tinanggap yung offer na mag-insert sa NEP. So yun yung pagkakaiba. So this woman is a very powerful figure. And alam mo, what was interesting also with what happened, 'di ba nag-selfie nga yung driver? Ang dating sa akin this driver knows a lot more than he points out because he made sure to take a selfie with his boss in the back. Okay, why? In a very weird
Was it
circumstance.
a report to someone else?
Yeah, it's possible. It was andito na siya. Iiwan ko na. Okay na ba tayo?
Ito na yung
Whatever.
setup, ito yung utos mo.
Oo.
Allegedly, parang you
Con-
can imagine that situation. Ito na po nagawa na namin, nakalutang.
Bahala na kayo.
Tayo.
Ako, aalis na ako, di ba? Parang ganun. Or, but then again, that selfie could have been AI. We don't know. Kasi where did it come from? So, kung saan pinost ba niya sa Facebook niya? Nasa phone ba niya yan? Nakita ng authorities? Saan galing yung picture na yan? Kasi kung private photo yan, tapos hindi nang galing sa telepono niya, saan nang galing yan? Kung hindi yan AI, sinong may hawak niyan at bakit may hawak siya ng ganyang klaseng litrato? At kailan niya nakuha yung litratong yan? Because that photo says a lot.
Grabe, parang the more na inisip ko, parang ang dami. Baka naman, alam mo yung pinapanood ko ngayon sa Netflix yung The Beast in Me. Parang it could be like a set of circumstances na get crazier and crazier and napunta sa something else. I don't know, man. Like, you could imagine na threaten yung family. You could imagine na, something went wrong along the way. You can imagine na maybe something happened and then someone helped along. Daming angles pa, so it's too early. But I think what we can all agree on is we should serious. Dapat talaga, mag-alala tayo na baka papunta na tayo sa stage na kung saan magdi-disappear na yung mga witnesses. I mean, how do you feel about this Kaya finally, Mark? Since naka-yellow ka rin kasi yun yung... So, yun yung...
Yung suot, no, ni Sarah, no. Ah, ako ano eh, dahil sa lahat ng nangyari, natabunan yung mga ibang ano eh, yung ibang mga storya. Pero ako, ano eh, masaya eh. Kumbaga yung iba kasi they're trying to, lalo na yung mga gustong mag-destabilize siguro ng government, they're trying to say na, hindi, small fish lang yan. O tapos meron pang parang nagpapaawa yung mga diskaya. Paano na yung mga anak ko? Ganon. So may ganong angulo pa sila. Pero nung ano na siya, nung kukuha na siya ng mugshot, susuot na siya nung parang ganitong shirt, parang tumama na kay Sarah eh. Ito na to, totoo na talaga, makukulong na ako. Tapos kung nakita nyo kung saan siya nakapiit sa Cebu, yung gaano kaliit yung kanyang preso, tapos may cashier siyang babae sa top bunk, tapos yung banyo nila, nandyan lang din, nasa same room. Ano yung downfall niya, grabe. Buti nga buti naglabas ng statement si Mayor Vico, 'di ba? Naglabas siya ng video kanina. In-explain niya, syempre mas alam niya yung nangyayari. Kasi doon sa part na paano na yung mga anak ko? Biglang binalik ni Mayor Vico. Huwag kayong magpaano doon sa drama na 'yon. Kung talagang mahal nila yung anak nila, bakit yung mga anak nila pag 18 binibigyan na ng korporasyon kaagad sa kanila na pinapangalan. Kasi para iba-iba eh. So, ganun yung style, di ba? Iba-ibang korporasyon, iba-ibang may-ari. Pag 18 yung anak, pwede na siya doon sa korporasyon o siya yung magsa-start ng korporasyon with 200 million pesos. Paano nakakuha ng ganun yung bata na 200 million pesos? Pero, huwag niyong sabihin na naaawa kayo sa mga anak niyo. Kayo mismo ang nagdadamay sa kanila. Tinuturuan yung magnakaw, tinuturuan yung maloko sa
Or wag kang
gobyerno, sa
magnakaw kung
tao.
ayaw mo na mapag-iwanan yung mga anak mo or ayaw mo mawalan ng
Oo, in the
pera.
first place, dapat
Have
inisip
a
mo yan
decent
bago mo
life,
ginawa
decent
lahat
living.
yan.
Yes, exactly.
Oo. Kaya, ayun, buti mas na-explain mabuti ni Mayor Vico yun kanina dun sa video. And ako kasi, di ba pumunta tayo dun sa kampanya sa Pasig. So, madalas ako sa Pasig, I was able to see, kung yung arrogance, yung how much they were spending money left and right, feel nila lahat, mabibili nila, feel nila, may ganun eh. Even yung mga pagharap nila sa Senado, sa Kongreso, parang nila, untouchable sila eh.
Yep.
May of impunity eh. May aura of impunity yung mag-asawa.
Yes.
Ngayon, they got pulled down to earth and doon na realize ni Sarah na ang mangyayari para akin is similar doon kay Janet Napoles. Ako yung makukulong ng napakahabang panahon habang yung mga politiko makakagawa ng paraan paano sila maka-eskapo. So, may
Well,
sinabi pa si
pinatay
Vico
yung
na
isa. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, she's
yeah,
relatively lucky na she's still alive or nothing crazy happened to her.
totoo, totoo. Tapos may sinasabi pa siya up to the very end, bago makulong, nasusolicit pa sa mga politiko. O ayaw mong ilagay ko yung pangalan mo dito sa sa listahan ko, pay up, para may ganung sinabi si Mayor Vico. So, hopefully nakulong siya, sabihin na yung totoo. Ilabas na yung
Pero baka ma-threaten
ilabas
yung
na yung
family
buong
niya. I mean,
katotohanan.
if her argument is kawawa yung anak niya and all, I mean, not
Mm.
that parang I'm saying, but she's vulnerable, right? Pero i-threaten yung family niya kahit wala siyang paki sa sarili niya. But ako ayoko yung term na big fish, small fish. Kasi ang laki nilang lahat eh. Whale na po sila eh. Mammals na po sila. Siguro small whale siya. Hindi siya definitely small fish. Right?
Di,
Lahat
pero
sila
kasi
big eh.
I define it this way eh. Merong big fish sa contractors. Si yun? Yun yung sila Zaldi,
Correct.
si Diskaya. May big fish sa DPWH. O sila Bonoan, sila Cabral, sila Bernardo. May big fish na proponent. O, yun na. So, may big fish sa kada. One cannot function without the other eh. Tapos lahat sila
So parang
nagpayaman.
parallel sila nagwo-work, hindi siya yung
Oo, parallel sila
pinaka-bigla.
eh.
Oo, tama,
Oo.
tama. Good, very good analogy.
Kasi
That makes
kahit yung
sense.
proponent, malaki yung porsyento niya, eh yung sila Diskaya, maraming proponent eh. So kahit mas 10% lang o 5% lang makuha nila sa dami ng proponent nila, baka mas malaki pa sila na kinita kaysa dun sa mga ibang proponent, di ba? Ganon din sa DPWH. Iba-iba yung proponent, mas malaki nakukuha nila pero sa dami. Lahat dumadaan sa kanila, eh. Wala namang ibang dadaanan yan. So, the amount they accumulated makes them ano.
You're
And
good point.
sila
Like,
din
it's
naman yung
not
architect eh. Oo. So parang I see it as a triangle talaga.
teamwork. Oh,
Ah,
teamwork
y-
sila, teamwork. Ikaw, Chris, what's your read on the Diskaya? Ito na. Finally, here we are. Na dinala na sa kulungan si Diskaya, 'di ba? 'Yun ang hiningi ng lahat before magka-Christmas. So how do you feel about this? Ako parang mixed feeling pa rin ako eh. I'm like I'm not happy, I'm not sad. Like I don't know what honestly, ambivalent ako to be honest.
Okay, first of all, good na nakakulong siya. Wala akong issue dyan. Ang issue ko nga, tulad nga ng sinabi ni Mark din, na parang ang dating sa akin ngayon siya lang at yung mga DPWH engineers ang nakukulong dito, mga executives ng DPWH. Tingnan mo yung listahan of the 9 people na kasama ni Diskaya. Not a single congressman, not a single senator. Ano ba talaga? I mean, nagbobolahan ba tayo dito? Tapos, nag-a-announce sila and wala nangyayaring arrest warrants. What else do they need? Andiyan na lahat ng ebidensya. Nilantad
Yeah.
na talagang ng mga Diskaya lahat. Lahat na sinabi na sino itong mga to nagbigay ng ebidensya na. And yet, not a single congressman or senator has gone to jail. And they said na maraming makukulong daw bago magpasko. They've got less than 5 days to do it now. We are now December 20. Good luck to them. Alam mo, ma-impress ako kung may makulong. Pero I'm telling you, I will be so disappointed. And I will have a very sad Christmas pag walang nakulong na mga congressman o mga senador pagdating ng Pasko. Kasi yun ang inaantay natin lahat. Yun ang pinangako nila. Kasi at this point, pag hindi nila ginawa yun, ang dating sa akin, it's all lip service. It's
Since
all
we
para
were
lang,
discussing Baguio, may
yeah.
isang senador na sabi wala naman daw siyang bahay sa Baguio dun sa very social place na kahit na ako taga Baguio hindi nakapunta doon. Although sino ba naman tayo hampas lupa. Parang hindi minention yung pangalan ng isang senador, no? Medyo tumasa naman kilay ko. Even doon sa mga potential na pwede kasuhan, 'di ba? Hindi man lang what's going on here?
Alam mo, that one is, that reeks. That stinks talaga ang baho ng keso na yan. Hindi ko maintindihan kung anong nangyari dito at bakit hindi nasama yung pangalan niya, knowing all the circumstantial evidence that was presented against him on top of all the other anomalous activities that happened even during and before the flood control. So let's talk about first na-discover na 142 billion insertion na ginawa niya. Okay, into the budget for 2026. Okay, isa 'yon. Tapos nung na-discover 'yun, dinenay niya. Sabi niya, wala, ganyan naman talaga, whatever, kung ano naman palusot ginawa niya. Then after that, nalaman natin na yung contractor nga pala ay nagbigay ng 30 million sa kanya tapos nakakuha ng billion ng mga proyekto. Oh, like thousands of percent increase in the projects that contractor got because and they say there's no connection daw. Na nagbigay ng 30 million sa kampanya ni Chis Escudero tapos bigla na lang nakakuha ng billion na proyekto, wala daw kinalaman yun. Really? Tapos then you've got the testimony na. Ayan, yung mga lumalabas sa testimony ni na Bernardo, ni na Alcantara, ni na Bryce. Tapos nakita mo dito na meron ng middleman na si Maynard Ngu. O, na makakasuhan. Recommended for filing of case against Maynard Ngu. So, okay. So here's the way I see it. Siguro nakita nila, may direct link tayo to Maynard Ngu. Siguro may evidence si Bernardo na talaga nagbigay siya ng pera kay Maynard Ngu. Kaya nila sampahan. Siguro hindi nila makonect si Maynard Ngu kay Chis Escudero pa. Maybe that's why they're holding back. But at the same time, when I say that there are circumstantial evidence, I'm referring to the campaign donation, to the 142 billion insertion, and to look at the people that the money was inserted for and who are the
Hindi na circumstantial
beneficiaries.
yan eh.
Oh, well, yeah, exactly. Hindi na nga circumstantial yan. Exactly. So, sa akin, yun ang hindi ko maintindihan eh. Anong inaantay ng mga to? O nagkaroon ba ng negotiations yan behind the scenes, behind our backs,
Or
na hindi
rumors,
natin
baka bro,
alam?
they're pinag-usapan natin, 'di ba? Siguro hindi na ano lang 'yan, magana lang 'yan. Mapapagod din ng tao, mag-move on lang 'yan. Parang let the heat Baka 'yun ang worry ko, kaya ang mahalaga na maingay tayo parati consistently maingay tayo eh. Otherwise, isipin nila ano lang 'yan, matter of timing lang 'yan, weather lang 'yan, katulad ng sinabi
Yeah.
ng budol ng presidente na mayor.
Yep. And yan naman talaga yung palaging tactic ng ating mga politiko, di ba? Ever since time immemorial, alam mo yung pinapabayaan nga nilang kumalma yung mga tao at makalimutan, at then pag nakalimutan na, move on na, next topic na naman, gagawa na naman ng iba pang issue, ibang skandalo na para yun na maging headline at makalimutan na natin na nangyari to. And yes, Richard, you are absolutely right that there is that very big possibility that they're just doing this. And parang, oh, sige, tingnan natin, baka makalimutan ng tao. Remember, I'll give you a very good example, that nangyari itong flood control issue and nagkaroon ng news report na lumabas at the same time na nangyari itong flood control issue, that Binay was acquitted of all charges relating to the parking building at the City Hall building na ginawa, the overpriced toilets, remember that? Lumabas yung article na yun around the same time as the flood control.
And no one
And
paid
the
attention
Binay,
except us.
right, because the flood control issue was in the foreground, na natabuyan na tong article na to at yung kwentong to. And then the Be Nice Smart, don't talk about flood control, don't be interviewed, hide, para wag tayo mapansin. At in that case, makakalimutan na, uy, na-acquit tayo at lahat ng mga involved, by the way, lahat acquitted, lahat sila. Wala daw guilty. Wala daw nag-overprice sa mga building sa
Pero
Makati.
pare, honest strict talaga yung Sandigan Bayan. Before that, Rappler had a very good report about, ang dami rin kaso na about yung Marcos era ill-gotten wealth ay biglang napawalang sala. And then of course later on came that the whole Enrile and the gang.
Oh yeah.
Also, ang galing ng Sandigan Bayan natin, no? Talagang perfect streak sila this year.
Yeah. Ito yung makikita mo talaga sa justice system natin, Richard, na pag ang kaso natin does not involve yung mga makapangyarihan, mga senador, mga kongresista, mga mayors sa malalaking LGUs, mga ganon, pansinin mo, they enact justice as it is, blind. Yung di ba, blind justice. Kung ano yung facts, here is the judgment. Once you add the names of these big players, yung mga mayayaman, mga makapangyarihan, suddenly justice is not blind anymore. Suddenly justice is not even anymore. Suddenly that weighing scale is weighing favorably dito sa mga makapangyarihan na to, dito sa mga politiko na to. And that is the biggest problem we have. And this is the very reason kung bakit may impunity tayo sa ating bansa. Dahil ang ating mga politiko, alam nila na untouchable sila. Wala pang nakukulong na mga politiko ever since 1986. Wala. Lahat kung may nakulong, maa-acquit. Si panahon lang ni Pinoy, nakakita tayo na nakulong. Ano ginawa ni Duterte? Pinalaya niya. Oh, ngayon, hindi nakakulong, wala. Zero. Ganyan kalaki ang problema natin. So, to fix this problem of impunity, you have to fix the judicial system. It is broken. Okay? Because if it was not broken, we would not have this problem. And add to that the reason why people are looking for shortcuts. Narinig mo na yung mga tao, di ba? Yung birthday wish nga ni Cara David, di ba? Mamatay na lahat ng mga corrupt, di ba? Alam mo, naririnig ko yung sa mga tao ngayon.
Na wala yung ebidensya. I mean like,
Exactly.
nag-isip pa kayo, etong tao na tong kailangan natin para mahuli yung talaga malalaki dyan. So like, people are having premature, very, I would say, puerile sense of joy.
Ako, may gusto din ako idagdag. Yun nga siguro kaya you were asking before, di ba? Saan yun natin ibubuhos yung attention natin? Siguro isang opisina or isang ahensya na dapat natin tutukan na after ng mga rally, Sandigan Bayan na. I pointed this out sa prior episode natin. Walang functioning Facebook page yung Sandigan Bayan to report yung mga nangyayaring kaso sa kanila.
Galing,
Diba?
no?
Hindi pa dapat bare minimum
Totally
yun.
off the grid talaga.
Oo, ba't bakit hindi ba dapat sila nagre-report sa taong bayan? Ito yung mga kaso namin. Ito yung ito yung naging desisyon namin sa case ni ganitong konsehal. Ito yung hindi ba dapat regular? Doon nawawala ng transparency. Meron silang Facebook page, hiring. Puro yun lang yung nakalagay. Kaya ito kailangan namin, ganun. Pero siguro, sino ba dapat i-pressure doon? Sa DOJ? Dapat magsabi doon sa Sandigan Bayan na, oy, magawa naman kayo ng Facebook. I-post nyo naman lahat ng update sa mga korte natin. So nasa na ba yung kaso pagdating dito kay nasa na ba yung may hearing para sa kaso ni ganyan. Merong ruling pagdating sa corruption case ni ganitong mayor, ni ganitong wala eh. So we need to demand transparency from Sandigan Bayan. I think yun ang next dapat kasi doon pupunta lahat ng kaso eh. Doon yung ombudsman. So nakita natin kay Boying kung paano talaga dapat gumalaw yung ombudsman. Hindi natin nakita kay Martin how powerful the ombudsman is. Kung nagrereklamo tayo sa korupsyon, yun yung titignan natin anong ginagawa ng ombudsman. Tapos pangalawa, kung paano ba hinahandle yung cases ng Sandigan Bayan. And siguro isa ko pang tanong, we should focus dun sa mga kaso na nangyari sa flood control, di ba? Pero dapat bantayan din natin yung 2026 na implementation ng budget. Kasi ang iniisip ko, meron silang, although nabawasan, marami silang mga projects pa rin, will it be given to the same 15 top contractors? Alisin mo si Diskaya, alisin mo si Hightone, Sunwest, Silver
O yung
Wolves.
cut-off
Yung
point
iba ba doon,
Oo,
maayos ba
yung
yun?
cut-off point, correct.
Oo yung cut, yun yung pinakita. Pero even yung top 50 eh. Ilan ba dyan ang maayos? Ilan ba dyan ang dapat na makapagkatiwalaan? So, like I said, ang isang suggestion ko din dyan, i-require din lahat ng mga contractors, mag-Facebook din kayo. Lahat ng project nyo, i-post nyo doon. Hindi dapat sikreto sa taong bayan yan eh. Para yung mga taga doon ang magre-reklamo, wala naman kayong ginagawang tulay dito Ba't sabi niyo sa Facebook niyo meron. So transparency yung importante sa akin at this point. At hindi mahirap yung hinihingi ko, yung hinihingi natin, Facebook page lang hinihingi natin para at least masimulan doon, then we could start monitoring kung ano yung mga ginagawa ng mga contractors na kukuha nitong bagong projects.
Yun nga
Itong mga farm to market roads, sino ba gagawa? Di ba? Hindi natin kumbaga before di natin nakikita yung importansya ng contractor, napaka-importante pala. Sa kanila kasi nangyayari yung korupsyon dahil sa kanila pupunta yung pera, sila yung mag-distribute sa kung sino-sino. Kaya dapat bantayan yung mga contractor. Kung mabantayan ng mabuti yung contractor,
Yeah.
we could lower yung chance ng corruption sa public works.
Yung procurement talaga, no? Yung issue ng public financing and procurement, dapat talaga maging civic education yan. Dapat maintindihan ng bawat Pilipino anong ginagawa sa yung taxpayers money natin, no? Yung kaban ng bayan. Pero tama rin si Chris, yun ang parati kong sinasabi. In fact, alam mo Chris, nung 2022, in-interview ko si Chel Jokno, nung tumatakbo siyang senador, pinag-usapan natin yung injustice system natin. At alam mo, parang basic lang sinabi niya, yun yung deep state natin, yung mga questionableng tao na nandun pa rin since Marcos Senior era pa, at kung sino-sino man dyan ay siguradong hindi talaga nila i-uphold ang hustisya. I don't want to say more again. Baka mapunta tayo kung saan. And for some reason, hindi binibigyan ng pansin ng taong bayan dahil everyone is focused on elected officials eh. Kasi sila
Yep.
popular sila yung nasa harap. Pero ang estado po ay hindi lang yung elected officials. Kasama po sa estado yung Sandigan Bayan, Ombudsman, libo-libong mga political appointees na hindi dumaan sa election at hindi dumaan sa civil service exam, no? So,
Yep.
laki po yung makinaryang estado. Ang daming kalokohan nangyayari. The first thing we should do, siguro bilang mga public educators, no, Chris and Mark, is dapat i-x-ray natin ito para makita ng taong bayan, wait, what are we dealing with here? Para maintindihan nila saan galing itong trillions and trillions of corruption na nangyari sa ating bansa. I think first yung anatomy talaga ng ating estado dapat pag-usapan natin. Now let's go to the last part of our discussion. Man of the hour. So mukhang yung Tweety Bird ni Falsis ay, hindi ko alam kung si Montulfo yung Tweety Bird niya. Mukhang Bato will have one more night of soft landing. I don't know anong balita sa inyo kung may nagsabi na nagtago daw siya sa isang fortress ng isang businessman dyan sa sa isa sa mga minamahal natin probinsya. Maraming theories na nakita siya sa Palawan. I think Remulla said something about the warrant of arrest. I think as usual, neither. But I've seen it with the signature and all of that. So operational, ano na lang tayo, operational phase na lang tayo. And mukhang he will have one more night of proper sleep. I don't know. I mean, what is your read? Or baka naman maganda na hindi pa rin siya huliin, parang para mahaba tong drama na to. I don't know how to feel about it.
Well, alam mo ako, Richard, the way I see it right now, I am surprised na kung totoo ngang ma-arrest na siya, na may balitang kumakalat na ganyan. Kasi kung gagawin talaga nila yun, wouldn't they want to keep that fairly confidential? Yun lang ang para sa akin. Kasi it'll make their jobs harder. With Digong, it was, kept in the low for the whole time. Although may kumakalat na rumor, I remember may
Hindi, kami
kumakalat,
ni
but
Justice Scarpia nagsabi nung October, nung
oh,
2024, sinabi namin may parating, but we didn't say when exactly or what.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Kaya yun ang difference eh. Kaya Digong, well, I think obviously may insider sila eh. Na nakarinig nga, na nakita na yung arrest warrant. Kaya he took the red eye out to Hong Kong. Pero na-realize siya, hindi siya makakakuha ng asylum doon. He was forced to come back. At doon, inabangan siya inabangan agad sa airport pa lang. Magaling yung pagkagawa nila noon. Hindi in-expect ata ni Digong na sa airport, mahuhuli siya bago siya makarating ng
Tsaka
Davao.
dadaling siya sa Air Force Airport. Hindi na
Oo.
doon sa... Kasi nakahintay sa labas yung mga supporters niya. Akala nila pwede nila intimidate yung police.
Yes.
Diretso
Ang
sa...
daming minobilize sa Davao ng mga ano
Oo.
di ba? Akala sa Davao
Oh,
siya
yun. Oh, yung pa, 'di ba? Yung so may distraction pa. Magaling yung pagplano nun eh. This one, maybe this is their strategy to say tomorrow tapos hindi pala tomorrow. Baka today na pala. You know what I mean? We don't know eh. A lot of this again, there's you know,
Psychological warfare.
yeah, one is psychological warfare and then the other one's what the real actions are. Yun ang hindi natin alam.
Pero
So,
yun nga, parang
let's see.
technicality speaking, pag mag-resume yung session, it's gonna create complications if he's there in Senate in the session. So there's still some technical, may time pa rin eh. There's a time frame if ever, no? Na best na huliin siya. Otherwise, magkakaroon ng showdown sa Senate. I don't think that's something Tito Soto would want or we would want to see yung katulad na nangyari kay Trillanes. Although that's a completely different situation yung nangyari kay Trillanes. So, I'm saying, yes, maybe there's some good cop, bad cop. It's also possible na si Boying ay masyadong excited at mukhang hindi niya
Ano kaya
na-coordinate.
magiging fallout, no? Yun ang iniisip ko eh. Kasi kay Digong nakita natin yung reaction. Kay Bato ba parang parang magiging ganun din kainit o parang hindi na?
Yung kay
Nasanay na
Wala
yung
na
mga
yan.
tao.
yung parang Kiboloy.
Hindi,
No, Digong.
yung sa reaction ng masa ng tao eh. How will they
He's
take
not
kung
Digong.
a sitting senator is taken to The Hague? Nung nilipad si Digong, wala siyang pwesto. 'Di ba? Hindi siya
Oo.
elected official. Ito, a sitting senator will be sent to The Hague para mag-trial. Richard, may tatanong din pala ako. Kasi kumakalat na din sa social media, lalo ng mga DDS. Pagdating doon sa mga freeze, sa mga ICC judges, what does that mean? Ano bang nun? Anong epekto nun sa kanila? Anong epekto nun sa
Wala,
buong
nonsense yan.
institution?
I suggest check out yung interview natin with Attorney Cristina Conti. We have at least 4 episodes discussing US sanctions. First Trump administration pa lang may sanctions na sa ICC officials. ICC po ay grounded in Europe. Mayaman po ang Europe. They have their own software system. They have their own experts. Invested na po ang buong European Union, which is, by the way, second largest combined economy in the world. So yes, mahirapan sila sa US for now. Baka bumalik ang Democrats, it will be... No, but they have all the money and resources and all. I've seen the ICC. Hindi sila mukhang naghihirap. It's a very nice, fancy-looking building. And no. So I'm sorry. I see this as the latest delusion, I don't know, news cycle ng mga ka-DDS. I think yun nga, sad, no? Ganun ang mga kulto, di ba? Let's be honest. You keep on feeding. Like, you'll say, tomorrow yung end of the world, and then hindi mangyayari. Ay, hindi, di ba? Ganun eh. Ganun yung mga kulto, di ba? You keep on giving a new plot twist every time, hindi nagkakatotoo. So,
Bring up
yun yung
hopes, no?
plot twist nilang bago. No. ICC there is some pressure, obviously, si Karim.
Anong epekto sa individual judge? Like, hindi siya pwedeng magbangko sa Amerika, ganon. They can't. Anong epekto sa kanya
Yeah,
on an
there's some
individual?
dun sa credit cards nila, ganun. Pero naghanda na sila. Alam na nila yan kasi anyone can Google that. First Trump administration pala, I'm talking about 2017-18, alam na ng
Meron na.
ICC ay target na sila ng US. So they had a long time to prepare for this. And as I said, they're in Europe, in the richest part in the world. Napakayaman ng Europe. And invested ang European government in the ICC system. Now, I'm not saying the European governments are perfectly, may mga nagsabi may double standard kasi dun sa Netanyahu, iba yung blah, blah, blah. But as far as logistics is concerned, even yung software daw, halos may sarili na silang sinet up completely. So they have been prepared for this for a long time. So, kung and para sa akin if ICC is in dire straits, ang kawawa dyan yung mga preso. I mean, Digong's maybe free TV, his air conditioning. I mean, they should hope that ICC is well functioning para Tatay Digong is well taken care of dahil klarong-klaro, hindi umubra yung budol ni Digong na biglang hindi na siya, biglang nagpapasinal effect na siya. So there have been more than half a dozen medical experts who testified, hindi, itong tao na to ay very, very actually sharp or at least sharp enough to stand trial. So I don't know kung if this is another Kaufman paasa effect or another kulto kind of news cycle. But no, Mark, they have been prepared
Tsaka yung meron daw warrant from Russia, ano ba yun?
warrant from Russia for
For yung mga nag ano kay Putin, naglabas ano ba yung nilabas kay Putin na pag nagkaroon ng chance ng Russia, they will get also arrested. Parang may ganun ba?
marami.
Yep, meron.
Ganito na lang, the Duterte, the DDS narrative was Trump would save Digong. And I think that was put to rest when openly Trump, when he was with BBM, said, unlike your former president who was a bit pro-China, right? Like totally true under the bus si Digong.
So
I think
ikaruhin ko lang,
magising
Richard.
na sila.
The ICC will will most likely outlive Digong.
Oh, hindi lang Digong. Ganito na lang. Ang inis lang ng Trump is because of Israel at saka yung targeting of US military activities. Wala silang pake kay Digong. Wala silang pake doon sa kaka 20 years conviction na binigay doon sa isang leader, I think from Africa. Wala silang pake doon sa mga, I don't know, Serbian generals or whatever. No. They're perfectly fine.
So, nung kay Netanyahu na
ang
case.
baka masara. Ang baka masara is yung buong kapitbahay. Kawawa yung mga kapitbahay doon sa detention centers. I mean, Europeans, Chris, you know it, Mark, ayaw nila na maingay. Ang ingay ng mga DDS, I'm sorry, but some of the things they're doing, some would say are embarrassing and vexation talaga yan doon sa mga kapitbahay. Baka masara yung subdivision doon, yung mga nakatira doon. They're creating a lot of trouble for a lot of people. No, this is another just nonsense by them. Pero I don't know, Mark, do you think if Bato is taken, that will have more effect than Digong? I think yun na yun eh. Yung kay Digong, yun na yan. Yung shock factor and all eh. I think we have crossed the line na eh. Kumbaga, the most dramatic has happened. Chris, we're gonna close on this, no? So, Chris, how do you feel about this? And also the other man of the hour, by the way, General Torre, who oversaw Digong and everything.
Congrats.
MMDA chairman officially.
Well, sir, you asked me about General Torre. How do I feel about it? Or
I
yung
mean,
kay
the other
Digong pa
man of
rin?
the hour, yeah.
All right. So, you know what? I'm happy for General Torre. And funny nga na parang Guanzon was trying to dim the, that appointment and making it sound like parang demotion yan eh. Pero at the end of the day, alam mo, MMDA chair position is a very good position to have. It's a good assignment. And I look forward to General Torre as the MMDA chief. And I want to see ano yung magagawa niya para sa MMDA. Remember, MMDA, if I'm not mistaken, meron ba siyang authority over the LGUs or is it in coordination with the LGUs? I'm
More
not
coordinated
sure on that
siya
one eh.
with the
More
fund
coordination,
governor. Oh, para siyang soft
Right.
governor ng Manila. Oh.
Yeah, sa akin, congrats to General Torre for that. I look forward to see kung ano yung mga magagawa niya as an MMDA chair. And it should not be belittled whatsoever. But then again, I mean, I don't want to bring up the name of that
Well,
attorney
I
anymore.
will
It's
definitely
useless.
belittle kung sa Money Money Network ka lang nag-analyst ngayon at yun lang ang trabaho. That's the one word belittling, but na 1,000 pa lang yata ang followers nila sa Twitter. I mean, after all of the transactions, pretty pathetic. Mark, last point on General Torre. Do you think he could turn this,
Oh.
like, remember Bayani Fernando, sumikat dahil sa MMDA? I think he could do it. Like, he could every day do a Vince Dizon thing, no? Pupunta dyan, ayun si Fred
Yun,
Sada,
exactly.
from a
Oo.
PR standpoint, I think this is a perfect position for him.
Yes, highly visible yung pwesto niya sa MMDA, which is GM, General Manager. So chairman pa rin yata si Artes. Pero he could be the main action man sa MMDA. Yun, so syempre mahirap yung challenges. Traffic, yung cleanliness, yung order ng mga tao, mga commuters. Pero gusto ko yung mga ganitong klase ng nagpapakitang gilas eh. Kasi talagang sa ngayon, nakikita naman natin yung mga hindi nagpapakitang gilas, malamang may ginagawang kalokohan sa likod eh. Pero ito si General Torre, syempre, of course, matunog na yung pangalan niya. He is being looked at as a possible 2028 candidate. So hopefully, he does good sa kanyang role sa MMDA. And ayun, maraming mga kailangang ayusin sa Metro Manila and makipagtulungan siya sa mga mayors dito like of course sila Yorme, sila Vico, and sila Zamora and all lahat ng mga mayors dito. So I think it's going to be an exciting time sa MMDA for 2026.
Tsaka baka pwede niya tulungan yung mga yung mga rallies ng mga DDS, yung mga maisog, yung mga ganoon kasi pwede siya mag-organize ng bigyan na ito yung spot niyo para maging mukhang malaking crowd niyo or something. On that note, thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much, Mark. I know it was a long, long night, and I really, really appreciate this conversation. But we really had to have this conversation, especially after Jake Paul's fight. Parang, wait lang, what's going on here? Like, oh my God, ang laki nung kalaban. Sinipa sa mukha, parang walang nangyari. Parang papel lang. Weight difference, wait. There's a reason why pala talaga there's a weight difference. So, hindi mo ma-jacket siya sa kalaban mo. No? Chris, thank you so much. I didn't know boxer ka rin pala, man. You are a man of many talents. And of course, Mark, thank you so much for your Discaya chic uniform. Perfect for our discussion. On that note, thank you very much and see you soon in flesh, God willing. God
All right.